Namaskar friends, India China again coming together. Does it look like India China meeting went well? Because Prime Minister Modi has gone to China. So let us see what is the truth. The truth is the real climax is yet to come. In this video, let me break down what the Modi Xi meeting really means, what it signals for India, and whether China's old problems have been solved or if this is just another staged drama. If India moves forward without understanding China's strategy, it is dangerous. First, let us take a quick flashback into history. In 1947, we got our independence, Bharat, India. In 1949, China was founded, and India was one of the first countries which recognized China. From then on, both countries were seen as brothers. Indi Chini Bhai Bhai. But like any brothers who fight now and then, India and China have always had tensions. Everyone knows the 1962 war. The border dispute between the two is still unresolved. In fact, the border was shared with Tibet earlier. But since China occupied Tibet, which India wrongly, incorrectly acknowledged as Chinese territory later on, the border dispute has become acute between India and China. Earlier, the border which was between Tibet and China has become a dispute between India and China. Now, after the 62 war, in Doklam, 2017, there was a big face-off. In Galwan, 2020, things have escalated and few deaths have happened. But trade and business ties grew in parallel. That is why every meeting between leaders is watched closely. This time at the SCO Summit in Tianjin, Modi and Xi Jinping met. Why did the board pay attention to that meeting? Because India-US ties were experiencing turbulence. The Trump's tariff and trade wars. Against this backdrop, China and India talking looked like a big signal. In fact, China went to the extent of supporting India against Donald Trump's tariff war against India. Positive points from the meeting. Both leaders declared we are development partners, not rivals. Dialogue channels were restored to stability. Direct flights between the countries were announced to restart. But the real question is, has the border issue been solved? No. And that is the problem. The border disputes, Ladakh, they have occupied some space. Achai Sin, Chinese have occupied some space. Arunachal Pradesh, illegally they are claiming against India. None of them has been resolved. China often smiles and shakes hands, but at the same time pushes forward its big plans in the border. Not only that, Silk Road and South China Sea and blah blah blah. For India, the real danger is China's double face. In meetings, they will say we want growth, not fights. But on the ground, soldiers face up aggressively. Of course, the Chinese army is known for its notorious for salami slice tactics. Slowly they will occupy our space and say it is our space. This is what was going on in the last 60-70 years. Okay. So, why does India need to be cautious? China's economy has become a global powerhouse. India's economy is fast growing. China sells a lot to India, but India's export to China is not equivalent to what China sends to us. So there is a trade deficit between India and China. The border issue remains status quo, while China always tries to occupy spaces by its salami slice tactics. In this backdrop, this particular meeting can be called as a positive step, but it is like a block of ice just starting to melt. On the surface, you see a little change, but underneath, it is still frozen solid. What does this mean in global politics? with small rifts appearing in India-US relations. China wants to use the moment to get closer to India. India, meanwhile, wants stability in ties with China. But blindly trusting China would hurt India badly. So, what is the climax? Will this meeting lead India-China relations in a new direction? In reality, it is only a mild thaw. The border dispute is still remaining. Restarting one direct flight doesn't mean everything is solved. India must move step by step, carefully evaluating each move. It's good to move forward with optimism, but we should never forget, behind the dragon smile, there are still terrible sharp teeth and hidden agenda. So what is the conclusion? The Modi-Xi meeting is a positive signal, but not a breakthrough. Borders issue, mistrust and trade imbalances remain. At least dialogue has resumed, and that itself is a significant achievement. So now, joke of the day. China says we are development partners. So India laughs and asks, alright bro, but will you at least stop putting your fence inside my house? Namaskar.